What's good? What's good? I'm in Cartagena. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Just send something in the comments. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Got the solo traveler in the building.
What up? What up, man?
What up? What up, man? You can hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you good, man. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, y'all can hear you good, man.
Sorry, my configuration is all messed up from traveling this weekend. I don't know what happened. So I'm trying
Oh,
to
okay.
get this in order. I don't think I'm gonna have any sound effects.
Okay. Brother Kanal say he gonna join in a few minutes, man. You know. So you was already down in CTG, so you know what I mean. You know what the current climate is out here.
Exactly, man. It's interesting. Yeah, the biggest question is what part you want me to touch on. That's what it
Oh
comes down
man.
to.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna lead us in, man. When did you leave Cartagena, real quick?
I left last night, so I got in about 11:30 p.m. last night. So yeah, that's basically what I had to deal with. I left around 1 p.m. and you know how it is coming from Colombia to Chicago, usually about 5-6 hours, depending on which location I'm coming from. Since I'm coming from Cartagena, it's gonna be about 5 hours. Coming from Medellin takes about 6-7 hours or so, depending on the layover.
Okay.
Yeah. So what about you? You still in Colombia, or you
Yeah, I'm still here, man. I'm gonna be here until this weekend. What's good, Bert?
hey, what up,
How you
Bert?
doing, bro?
It's good.
Bert a Cartagena vet now, man. He be in and out.
Yeah, yeah, man. If only my
Mike
sound
C,
effects were
what
working.
up? What you say?
If only my sound effects was working, I would have dropped the bomb for him.
Oh, you dropped the bomb for Bert.
you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna make sure I put in the group, man. Make sure people tune in. Make sure people tune in real quick. I hit up Greg from Flip Flop. He sent this to my man G. Put it in the groups. Let him know what's popping. Cause my man Love up. Oh yeah, throw it in throw the link in some groups as well.
Cool. Hold on a moment.
Yeah, let me get in. So bear with us, fellas. So who out there? Who else out there in the chat? Just about one more minute, then I'm gonna get started.
Yeah. Well, during this time, so how you feeling right now? Since you had a chance to get away, I think you went glamping as well. After leaving out of Cartagena, how did that whole thing go?
I mean, it was cool, man. I mean, I was just overwhelmed with the wedding festivities, man. And then, just dipped to Medellin, man. Did the glamping. It was cool. It was relaxing. I got some footage. Um, it's called Bosco and Guatape.
Okay.
So, but yeah, man, it was cool, man. What up, David? What up, homie? Congrats on the wedding. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that as well in the coming weeks, man. Cause I've heard some comments that people made in groups and stuff, and I get it, I understand it,
Man, yeah,
but
so you can't let that stuff get to you, man. A lot of that
no,
stuff, yeah,
it
you know,
definitely don't, man. I mean, but I respect it though because we're a diverse spectrum of passport bros, and we
exactly.
both do our thing or did our thing, and and got something, that we wanted. So
Sometimes it's time
OG
just to
Bobby
grow up.
Johnson, yes
You
sir,
sometimes you got to
salute.
move forward because you can't keep doing the same old thing. day in, day out, every year,
Hey man, I mean, to each his own, man. To each his own, man. So yeah, man. So I'm gonna get underway, man. And then anybody else that decide to come in, I'll bring them up. So I just had to just like I had to shake my head because I'm like, I'm on this the wedding high, getting ready for the honeymoon, and then somebody hit me like, man, you heard what happened in Cartagena? So I'm like, what happened? And he like, man. So I seen a video of a dude like beating up the chick.
Yep.
So we had a situation the same weekend. So I'm thinking like, damn, did they get some of people? Is this some of my peoples? That was my first reaction. So my heart thumping like, damn, I hope this ain't none of my peoples. So yeah, so those who probably in any of the travel groups or know somebody, this I guess this was what Friday, whatever day, maybe this Friday, Saturday, whatever, this past weekend in Cartagena, a video circulated. A guy was beating up this girl, and so what kind of made it just kind of what really made it like catch a lot of attention was that like some of these women in Colombia, chicks in Colombia was putting it on Instagram. I heard they was tagging police, tagging like the city of Cartagena, tagging all
News.
these entities, these news outlets, and just saying everything like without really knowing the full story. And in general, we don't condone violence. We don't condone violence against women.
Yep.
We're raised to not put our hands on women. You know what I mean? Even if they in the wrong, whatever the case may be. So I was just kind of thrown off of how they was like blasting these guys, whether some feel like they deserve to be blasted or not. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So what I was thrown off by was that they was really trying to send a message, you know,
Mhm.
and they was trying to create a negative because then they start talking about blacks and this and that, and I felt like, well, y'all y'all gonna mess up things for y'all. Y'all gonna mess up y'all money. Y'all keep doing it. So
Mhm.
this is the back of my head. So yeah, I was just kind of thrown off about that. So I don't know. Before we talk about anything else, I don't know what you heard about that situation, but if you heard anything, what did you hear about that situation?
So the same as you, I've actually saw the video circulating, saw what was going on. The guy attacking the woman and so forth. And first off, I'm gonna say that of course, we don't condone none of that stuff. We don't condone slapping women and things like that. We're not about that life. We're about we're gentlemen and so forth. And of course, it was kind of disturbing. But one thing I want to say about it is that there has been times when women has done things to provoke situations. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's right what he did or anything like that. But sometimes you might catch the wrong person of some of the
Right.
things women do to provoke situations such as that. Such as, I'm sure we all been through it before. We actually dealt with a situation where you guys agree to something from the start, and then after everything is done, next thing you know, the prices change. That's some stuff to really like piss people off, that you're trying to get over or do something extra. That's kind of shady. Or maybe you might deal with a thief. Maybe you might deal, it's stuff like that. For me, just past weekend, I could say that I dealt with some, and some woman use my cologne. I mean, I'm not going to get pissed off at that, but other people might get pissed off at that. So these women got to understand some of the situations, some of the boundary lines that you're dealing with. And one of the things I also wanted to talk about is that Colombian women, they love to play that victim role no matter what, in
Hmm.
every situation. If you give them that opportunity, they're going to run with it until they can't run with it anymore. I mean, I deal with that with my wife as well. Sometimes she'll play that victim role, and I have to call her
Right.
out on that. you know So as I see in there, in the what kind of got me pissed off was the text associated with the video with what she was saying, and playing that victim role, because we all heard the stories, we all know what's been going on for years and years and years, from dudes getting drugs when they first started off in Bogota, then it moved to Medellin, dudes getting drugged, tourists were getting killed. So
Right.
I look at the fact that they're making this whole big thing about she getting slapped outside her face, whatever, which that's, like I said, I don't condone that, whatever. They're making it so much of a big deal that they're kind of neglecting, or with the short-term memory of the fact that dudes have died. Men have died, and got drugged and got robbed and so forth. you know
Right.
and so that's just the thing. I just didn't like the narrative that was being pushed from looking at the video and so forth, and that how it kind of put on us tourists, especially especially on black men and so forth, because they're making it seem like that, oh, this is what we do and so forth. Because it's bad enough we have other, the lighter skinned Latino dudes that be hating on us at times. I'm not saying all of them. It's just this is what I see, like and world star, Latin world star, whatever. These are most of the dudes that be in the States, whatever, but they be talking mad stuff about black dudes no matter what. And and I just I don't like that whole narrative. That's they're gonna run with that stuff, and I'm sure they're gonna use that and be like, oh yeah, look, the Negroes, they ain't good, muy malo, don't deal
Right.
with them.
Right.
So and that's the one thing I didn't like about that. So, and unfortunately it got tossed, like you said, to the news. They tag the news people, different stations and things like that, how it affects our image. And it's bad enough that we have to keep trying to fix our image. Now I've seen situations where women are saying they want to deal with us, but they're saying that we're so the word I'm looking for is womanizers. They're saying that we're so sick, hypersexualized and womanizers and so forth, which also puts another black eye on us. So
Hey, I'm gonna put some context around a lot of stuff you mentioned. And um, good evening, brother John Moss. His comments. That was 100% wrong. Those guys should go to jail.
I never said that that those guys were not wrong. That's the thing about it. You're listening to something different. I said that I don't condone violence and so forth like that. Only thing I'm saying is that as much as they're using this as a way to say being a victim and so forth, I'm saying that also we had the same situation going on with us, and that they're making it so much of a big thing that actually go overshadow some of our situations that we've had as men and so forth. So once again, like I said, I don't condone beating up on women. Yeah, they should go to jail and so forth. That's not right. But also I'm putting in the other perspective, putting devil's advocate of what else has been going on in Colombia and so forth.
Right. So one thing you mentioned, and I had in my notes, women all over the world will act like victims. What I mean, in certain situations. Some may actually be victims, and some may flip the script. So I'm gonna bring up. So I'm gonna bring up. I'm gonna lightly touch on a situation that happened this weekend, but I'm gonna speak on some prior situations that didn't didn't escalate. Let me answer a question real quick, brother Andre. What's
Yep.
good, brother?
What
You know
up?
what I
What
mean?
up?
Appreciate the love, man. But do most guys think? Do most guys think like us, or really are womanizers, or only for a short time? I mean, that's a good question. I think men are men. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we the men that travel from the United States to other countries, we represent the United States. We are a mixture of different personalities, whether we come from the hood, from the streets, whether we, like to smash girls raw or not, whether we looking for love or not. We a diverse group of people that travel. So I mean, you got men with short tempers. I got a temper. I got a temper. It's just a certain line that, regardless of where I'm at in the world, like if a person crossed that line, you know what I mean? Like I might not be able to check myself. You know what I mean? So everybody everybody got that breaking point. You know what I mean? Before I catch up with the chats, let me kind of talk about. So I had 4 instances in Colombia, 2 in DR, where I had to like kick a chick out. You know what I mean? One instance was I was in Medellin. Maybe this was like, over a year ago. I was in Medellin and, grabbed a shorty off Parque Jerez, walking back to the spot. You know what I mean? She was all like bubbly personality, cool or whatever. You know what I mean? She really didn't, she really didn't like what I was offering her, but she just kind of accepted me because it was late at night. But anyway, went to the spot, you know what I mean? She got to the room. She just mood just changed, demeanor just changed. You know what I mean? She didn't want to like, you know what I mean? I think I asked her to like, can you take a shower? She was like, no, like she clean and stuff like that. And like she just really wasn't like compliant. So I was just like, you know what? I ain't really feeling her attitude, man. Like, you know what I mean? I was just like, you could go. And she like, no, she's like, you're gonna have to pay me. I'm like, you only been here a few minutes, like, I'm not paying you for nothing. You know what I mean? And I'd be firm on that. Some guys be like, man, just pay, just, you know what I mean? Just, some guys just say, just pay it, man. But I'm just like, no, I'm firm on that. And so, you know what I mean? So she didn't want to leave. So I grabbed her and I opened the door and put her out the room. And she was in front of my door, like, I'm gonna call the police. You know what I mean? They're gonna decide. So I said, all right. So I grabbed my bags and dipped out my Airbnb and went to my homie spot. You know what I mean? So police couldn't get involved because I wasn't there. I was gone. All my stuff was gone. You know what I mean? Only thing I had to do was my Airbnb told me that, you know what I mean, I couldn't come back there, which I don't really care. But ultimately, I didn't really have to deal with what would have probably dealt with a police interaction. That's one situation. You know what I mean? So another situation, this was like in Cartagena when I was first traveling. I had it was a shorty, you know what I mean? We went to like this little place where they got rooms. She was kind of BSing on a performance, and I was just like, man, just stop. I just gave her some bread, and then she was talking about some police stuff because I was just like no, you know what I mean? I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? We didn't really get to that point, and so like she hid money in her body and telling the police I didn't give her nothing. But fortunately, that police officer kind of sided with me, and he just kind of let us go our separate ways. You know what I mean? And
Nice.
and I would say it was like maybe 2 more situations like that in Colombia where, you know what I mean, the police kind of like didn't take the side. Even in DR, one example in DR, Envy, which is why I used to fuck with Envy, and the security was that we had some chicks in there, and obviously some chicks come back to the spot. You know what I mean? You start talking price and this and that, and then they don't want to come back, and then you end up not feeling something. Either you might feeling what they negotiating, or you just not feeling her no more, and you tell them to politely leave. They don't want to leave. They want to get paid just because they came to your spot. You know what I mean?
That's
So I hit
messed
up
up.
security at Avi. You know what I mean? He just said, man, just throw this. You know what I mean? Just throw this. Just throw this, and it was Gucci. You know what I mean? But I ain't had to come up with what I came out of. So I would say every situation that I've been into where I either had to forcibly remove a chick and dip, or at least if I had police interaction or security interaction, it worked out in my favor. Now, what happened is past, and this is a separate situation from what the video that was circulating on You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. So some people's I know. You know what I mean. They had a guy brought 2 chicas to the spot. You know what I mean. It wasn't his spot. You know what I mean. But he just brought his own chicas to the spot. Whatever the case may be, he didn't have enough bread for these chicks. You know what I mean? Because he didn't hit the ATM. So niggas like, well, you're going to have to go to the ATM or do something because we not, you know what I mean? Niggas weren't trying to give up money for these chicks. You know,
Which he should have been.
to
You
get
should
it.
have went to the ATM first in the first place.
So one of the chicks, so one of the chicks, and I was there. So one of the chicks, I was like, you gotta bounce. You know what I mean? Because if he ain't got money for you and he not trying to pay for you and nobody else wants you, you gotta bounce. And she like, no, I came here for him, and I'm not leaving this house till I get this money. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man, yeah, that's the
So
oh man.
in my head, so you know what I mean. So my blood pressure slowly rising, slowly rising, slowly rising, slowly rising. So I'm like, you know what I mean. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, this is not his crib. He don't have no entitlement to this crib. You know what I mean. I'm trying to holler at him like, man, you got to get these chicks out of there. You know what I mean. He not feeling it no more. So I'm just like, something got to shake. And so she was talking. Then she just started being disrespectful. You know what I mean. So I don't take even all my niggas say it's it's a certain level of respect niggas need. You know what I mean, or a certain level of disrespect any nigga not gonna tolerate.
Yep.
You know what I mean.
It's
So
true.
her level of respect was getting like testosterone level disrespect.
Yeah, and of course you can't do much about that because now she's getting a higher rate, and it's like what is left for you to do? When she's getting there to that point.
So it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to handle her how I handled these other chicks before. You know what I mean? So I grabbed her and I was about to throw her out, but she was the first chick that actually tried to swing. Like she actually swung.
Damn.
And she like picked up and threw something, and people had to hold me back and hold her back. You know what I mean? And so I was ready. You know what I mean? I was ready to. I wasn't gonna knock her out, but I was ready to show her the strength of a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're not finna disrespect me. I don't care where I'm at. I know people in Cartagena too. You know what I mean? I can make phone calls too. So we had security. We had a security in the house. I was kind of mad because I'm like, you security, why you not kicking them out?
Yeah, you paying them for the service.
So it's like he ain't kicking them out. He like, he trying to figure out what to go on. So she ended up calling police, which was somebody that she know. Police came, you know what I mean? I'm like, you gonna take her word over. I'm like, it's our word versus her word. Who word you gonna take? And then another girl, she taking pictures and videos, or she has some pictures or videos of the situation. I'm like, you're not even involved in the situation. Why is you feel? What is you doing? You know what I mean? And I'm like, and she was with somebody else.
Change the narrative.
I'm like, check her. Like she shouldn't even be in this. She shouldn't even be in this mix. So now I see what they own. You know what I mean? Like,
they gotta change the narrative.
They on code. They on code when it comes to a lot of stuff. So make a long story short, officer like make a long story short, let me bring Canal in real quick. So to make a long story short, what up, Canal? Make a long story short, the officer like, y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all gotta, she want 400, if not to file a police report. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so if we like 400, and like the homie had already left, so I'm like, dog, this is his problem.
Yeah,
like,
that's his problem.
He left us with this problem. You know what I mean? So she like 400. So, you know what I mean?
That's $100 right there.
So I threw the police off. I'm like, all right, well, what if I want to file the police report? And I'm like, can I file a police report? And he's like, okay. He's like, all right, give me your passport or identification. I didn't want to do that because I didn't know what type of situation. I didn't know what type of cop he was. So I was like, you know what? We just gonna pay the bread. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Niggas went to the ATM, came in with the bread, paid them. You know, they crying and making all this. I'm just like, man, y'all, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure that the cop got a cut of it. Me not knowing some laws and rights, I would have put this cop on film and camera, but I just I didn't want to escalate the situation with the cops because they didn't take no identification, and I just didn't want nobody to be in no system like that. But But that situation happened, and then I seen the other situation that happened with the guy beating up the chick. I'm just like,
Mm.
something is going on, man. Like these chicks is really pushing a
Yeah.
button. And then the last thing I'm gonna say before I let y'all comment is that even going to the spots that we hit up, like Delirium, Dose Vita Space, whatever, they on code even with like what they asking for dudes, like 100 to 150 for their
Yeah.
time.
400
And
mil
it's
for
just
two
like,
hours.
and Cartagena used to not be like that. Like it done turned into Sosua with the police, quote unquote, extortion, with just with the chicks being on code, far as saying the same thing, like
Hmm.
pretty ugly, halfway decent. They all are saying the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, this kind of make me feel like it's a suit.
Yeah.
But let me bring on brother Canal, man. What's up,
Well,
brother? How you doing?
hey, before Canal goes on, I got one story I want to give. I know I'm letting Canal, take over.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh man, yo, I actually had the not same similar situation, but I actually had a similar situation my first time in Punta Cana. One of the share my story. But also one thing I want to say is that in Cartagena, I noticed that outside of the delirium, all the clubs and everything, that they're charging 200 mil. And around the clock tower area, so forth, depending on the woman and depending on the day. I noticed that like on a Wednesday night, they were more thirsty, that they were saying, hey, we'll do it for 4 hours or this and that. They're trying to cut deals and so forth, the non bad looking females and so forth. But besides that, once the weekend hit, they're all on code no matter what, inside or even outside the clubs and so forth. But um I had the same situation as well. This was, years ago. I was at DR in Punta Cana. So I invited this one girl out to go kick it, and she invited a friend and some old lady at that. Like she wasn't old, she maybe, about around my age, whatever. I prefer, women around 5 years of age, whatever. So um the situation was that I was kicking it with them the first night, and the next thing I know, the girl that I was definitely kicking with, she had to leave because some situation happened with her son, so she left the next morning. So she left me with this other girl that I was like, I really didn't care too much for. And so I'm like, well, fuck it, and she was like, yo, let's keep, doing our thing, whatever, have fun, whatever, bedroom and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, you damn right, I love doing my thing, whatever. So finally, by the end of the day, she came up with this, because we agreed on a price, for the day. It was, I think it was like 4,000 or some shit. Like it was something, relatively okay, something decent for the whole entire day. So by the time the day ended, she came up with some outrageous price. And I'm like, what? Like, who are you talking about? I had an Airbnb. We were in a secluded area, whatever. And and I did some things for her, during the time that I was with her. Just that's just what I do. If you're gonna kick it with me, I'm gonna take care of you. Whatever it is, what it is. And I was like turned back by that whole situation. And she was like, yo, I'm not gonna leave until you pay me this extra amount. Like, no, I'm not gonna pay the extra amount, because we didn't agree to that. How are you gonna agree? How are you gonna change it up at the last minute? So we're going back and forth arguing, and then she getting high rate about the whole situation, and basically at the end, I started negotiating. I'm like, "What? I'm not about to fight with you because I didn't want to leave her in that house alone because I was about to leave." I'm like, "Yo, screw you. I ain't about to be, dealing with you and so forth, But I just want her to destroy the place that I was at, and I didn't want to pay for that. So that was my situation. So in the end, I negotiated because I had bought her some stuff. While we were together, one of those days and whatever. And I was like, you know what? If you want that money, how about you go take that and return the stuff that I got you, and you'll get your money? But I already know it's not going to work out that way because I pay with credit card and it'll go back on the card. So basically, the way to get her out the house, I'm like, yo, let's go. You'll get that money and everything's good. Once we got to the store so that she could return the stuff. As soon as she got out the car, I jet on her ass. I got up and so then she like texted me like, yo, I can't get the money from returning this stuff. They said they'll put it back on the card. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. So that's on my way. I got out of that situation. That was the only time I had a situation like that. So with me, I'm always, very watchful of who or what I deal
Right.
with these situations, because that was my one time, and I learned a lot from that situation. I'm like, yo, if the girl seems like she's a bit, just not there, I can't mess with her. You know what I mean? That's just me from that first experience. That kind of did it for me. For any other transactional experience, if it's not on par.
Right. Good question, Andre. Why weren't you guys recording, man? We do got to pull out our phones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a great point. Black man travels, man. What you got for us, man?
Yes,
Hey
sir. What up?
man, I'm actually still recovering from that trip, man. I had an amazing time. Great. It was a pleasure hanging out with Solo and attending your wedding. It was a great time, man. I really had a great time, especially at Bora Bora. That was a wild day at the beach, man. We had a great time. I think all of us were drunk. So great time, man. Honestly, this was the best Cartagena trip, and this was my third time going to Cartagena. This was
Uh-huh.
the best trip by far.
Nice.
Cool,
Good to hear
cool.
that.
Let me address. I mean, I see some comments like you pay. This is okay. If y'all want to defend the Chica logic is you pay for my time whether it's 1 minute or an hour. That's to me. That's. I don't even want to categorize that.
I think it depends.
This is a transactional situation. We agree on pay for service, what I mean, for services in exchange for money. Whatever you guys discuss. That's a verbal agreement that you made with somebody else before you take them anywhere. If they decide to come to your spot and not uphold their part of the deal, you should not be on the hook for saying no. No, that's is no longer a deal no more. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like
And then
saying that
reneged.
the only people that got rights is the woman. You know what I mean? And that don't make any sense. Now if you hooked up with a chick and she could have linked up with somebody else, and for whatever reason, if she didn't do nothing wrong, but you just decided, I don't want, I'm not in the mood no more, then yeah, you kind of burnt
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean? But if she just came and just like we call bait and switch, no, you ain't. You shouldn't be on the hook on that. And she didn't perform anything. If anything, you could. If it's transportation that needs to be paid, you pay for transportation.
Exactly.
If you felt like she missed out on something, maybe you could throw her a couple of dollars, but you don't have to give her what y'all was supposed to
Yeah, that
what you
full
was supposed to
price.
pay for the whatever services that y'all agreed on. But yeah, man, brother,
It's
Black Man
it,
Travels, man. What's your take on the events that you heard about this weekend, as far as like that video circulating with those black?
Um, to be honest, I didn't really hear anything about it, besides watching the video. But based on what I'm reading now, it seems like it was all over money. If anything, she stole from the guy. The
Mhm.
guy, I think he left a ton of cash on the table and someone took it. So he automatically assumed it was her and, of course, slammed her and choked her and as well as slapped her. So personally, I'm against, violence towards women. However, guys got to be careful, man. You can't just invite anyone back to your crib and always cheek proof your spot, man. I don't know why guys
exactly.
want they're so sloppy. One thing I've noticed this past weekend,
Mhm.
everybody's all blinged out with the big gold chain and the watch and the bracelets. It's like they forget that, man. You're in a city where everyone is hungry, and it's just like, they're gonna find an opportunity to rob you. They're gonna take it. Why not? You're just setting yourself up. So it is what it
Yeah.
is, man.
And
Yeah,
agree on that same sentiment that you said. Now that you said that he left money out, like, come on.
yeah.
You're gonna leave money out? Like, I mean, now that's I would say it is on his fault. You don't ever do that stuff, while you're doing what you're doing and so forth, because anything is gonna happen. So I could say that he's definitely wrong on that standpoint. You leave the money out, then you're going to attack her for that.
Yeah.
That I would say is definitely wrong for him to do. You
Let
know,
me
so
respond to this real quick. So he said, "Tell the cop you don't know her. Some other guy brought her to the house." No, she pretty much said since since I tried to forcibly remove her from the house by like trying to like basically grab her and bring her out. She tried to say she was assaulted. So that was what she was. So that's what she was trying to do. You know what I mean? So and that's where the 400, you know what I mean, came into play. Like not want to press charges. You know what I mean? So I would say out of 6 times where I got out of a situation, that was a situation where she had the cops on her side. You know, um, so that option really wasn't possible. Let's see. Every time I go to Cartagena, Colombia, I always get 2 spots. Yeah, that's something I was gonna bring up too, and I brought up, in the past before. For those that got money, so those who can afford to do it, I mean, you should have a main spot and then probably a spot where you don't have nothing at, maybe close by or wherever the case may be. Because then, if someone go down at that spot, you can just leave. You ain't got no luggage there. You ain't got anything there. And some chicks peep game. They look and see, okay, if this is spot, do it look empty? So like more than likely, if they see you just took them to like a hole in the wall, nothing there, I mean, they might not even active because they know you could just leave. But if you, you know what I mean? So if you could get 2 spots, like a cheap spot and your main spot, do that. You know what I mean? And then you definitely want to bring, if you got a main or whatever, that's who you want to bring to your main spot. But you really don't want to be messing with these pay for play chicks like that. You know what I mean? That's kind of why I was like, man, I don't want to be in this game.
Hey, can I chime in on that?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
All right. I'm speaking from having experience in Cartagena since 2016, and what I've noticed is that the women have become more aggressive compared to years back, and aggressive to the point where they just get straight to the point. There's no really small talk between you and the prospect, and also too, they doing by the hour, which is brand new to me. Colombia never done that, and I'm like, by the hour, and they're quoting dollars.
yeah.
So the fact that they're doing it by the hour and quoting dollars, that instantly took me to Sosua. And I was like, you know what? I was turned off. Even Steve and I were chilling at the clock tower, man. You heard one of the girls gave me a bogus price amount. You remember?
Yeah, she said 600 mil or 700 mil. I was like, what? I had to back away.
And granted, look, this whole weekend I was not pressed, so I didn't really mess with anybody out there. I mean, lucky for me, I met a young girl to go to the Bora, but besides that, dude, I've gone like a few days not doing nothing, just focus on creating content, having fun with the fellas, drinking with the fellas, hanging out, working on my on my photography, my videos. Then on Sunday, she saw the girl, he knows what's up, so it was just like, hey, she came through, we hung out, had a good time, we went out for drinks and dinner afterwards. Dude, that was my trip, man. I think if you're gonna go there for pay for play, just be smart about it. But for me, I'm at a point now doing this for 7 years strong, visiting all these countries. I'm kind of turned off by it now. The whole manga scene, I'm just turned off by it now because it doesn't do anything for me. The whole back and forth, negotiating and clock watching. I'm not a clock watching dude, so I'm all about experiences. And if I feel like rushed and it seems too pressed, I'm not turned on by that. So I think I'm checking out from that scene, and it's just like, you know what? If I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do the travel stuff, hit up the restaurants, hit up the private islands, like do some exclusive shit. I'm not trying to do clock tower behavior or go to Hollywood Beach. I'm not trying to do none of that stuff anymore. If I ever go back.
One thing that you touched on about how aggressive they were, like I could tell you, I actually experienced that there on Wednesday. I was sitting at the clock tower on the one of the steps, and this was before you came out there, Black Man Travel, and no excuses when you guys were at the delirium, having a good time. So I just stepped out to go, KK. I think it was like 3:00 in the morning, and I sit there. I had 2 chicas, both sides of me, trying to get me to do something with them. Like they're holding me, trying to take my hands to touch on them and everything. Like, yo, let's do this. Then I got another girl that stands in front of me, trying to, proposition me like, yo, let's do it. Let's go. And I'm just like sitting here like, nah, just give me 10 minutes, whatever, 20 minutes, and they sat there the whole 30 minutes. I kept delaying it. They sat there the whole 30 minutes trying to get me to go with them, to do whatever. They weren't leaving for nothing. Like they were glued to me. So the aggressiveness right now is off the chart. Like I haven't never seen it like this. This is wild.
I had a few of them follow me. And I was like, okay, I had to turn around and tell them, like, yo, quit following me. And it was just like, I mean, personally, I guess maybe, at our level, we're kind of beyond that point. And it's just like, for me, when it's too forward like that, it doesn't do nothing for me. I mean, I understand guys want to brag about what they've done and post videos and pics. Dude, I was doing that shit back in 2015, man. And it's just like, okay, that doesn't do anything. For me, I find challenge trying to hit up the bartender, the waitress. I mean, someone that is not on the streets. I find that more challenging, more enjoyable than, all right, let's negotiate and get nothing out of it. So that's just me. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but as I said before, this was the best Cartagena experience. Simply the fact that I decided to do something completely different, and I really enjoyed it, and it was just an amazing time. And it was really,
was dope.
Board, man, dude. If you have not gone to board, go to board. Have it. It's worth every penny from the time you get on that speedboat to the island to the parties to the drinks. I mean, I think we were all drunk by the time we got on that boat.
Yeah, and also we have VIP.
And we have VIP.
I got somebody else in the background, Mr. Moss. I'll bring you up, bro, but you got to show your face. You know what I mean? Especially if you want to, if you got something to say. You got to show your face. I'll bring you up. Oh, okay. I know who that is. I know who that is. I'm gonna bring him up, and see what he got to say. Yo.
Hey, Rob, no face, no case, my brother.
What's your 2 cents, man?
Man, listen, and I apologize for talking smack in the chat, but man, it'd be a lot of goofies traveling, bro. I mean, come on, man. Like the stuff that's be going on, that be happening to most of these guys, they deserve it. You hitting a female, first and foremost, you shouldn't even have been in a situation where you had to do that. And then people talking about some time. Listen, if you bring somebody somewhere, yes, give them something for their time, and let them get on. You know what I'm saying? If they switched up, like you talking about, okay, it's right here on the WhatsApp. Let me call the security dad. Yo, this is what it is. Goodbye. Case closed. It don't have to be no back and forth. That's why you put everything in the chat, in the WhatsApp. You got these bunch of goofy grabbing people and just be like, yo, let's go. And they all litty, drunk. And then they get to the house and the shorty know what's up. She like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this sweet dude. This dude's sweet right here. He cotton candy. So he said 60. I want 140 now. It's my word against his word. There's nothing. He's in my country. Come on, bro. And you always need to be staying somewhere where it's security at. And you supposed to have a relationship with the security guy. Always, yo, listen, this is what I'm doing. I'm here for a couple days. Yo, when they pull up, you grabbing the ID. But I mean, this ain't like this bunch of goofies that be traveling. Now, your situation, you was talking about. I mean, listen, the shorty that was there, and listen, I would have been like, yo, sometimes you just gotta overthink. You gotta outsmart them. Damn. All right, you know what? Oh, he just called me just now. He outside with your bread. Let's take a walk outside with your bread. He's downstairs right now in the car with your bread. Boom, you get outside. Boom, see ya back in the crib. That ain't my problem. I didn't bring you here. Right. I'm gone. So at the end of the day, man, y'all got to understand that we are much smarter than what they got going on in any country, bro. And if y'all letting these people outsmart y'all, then y'all some goofies. I'm sorry.
Hey, Mr. Moss, I kind of disagree. Simply the fact that we're not giving these people more credit. And we think that these people are gullible. And they're a lot smarter than what you think. And that's why most foreigners always get got by the locals.
How you let somebody with no education outsmart you?
Education has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it's common sense.
But you should have better common sense.
No,
You
no,
need
no,
to,
no.
listen, I've been traveling for a
assuming
long time.
you're
You should see
assuming.
situations before they come.
Okay, listen.
Point blank period.
You've been drinking and smoking all day, so you obviously impaired. Your judgment's impaired. So you
So
get
then,
caught
so
up.
then, so then you gotta take one for the team. Then you gotta add that. What do they call it? You gotta take that to the game. You add it to the game. That's it.
Look, I mean, all I'm saying that we need to give these people more credit than we should. For us, assuming that because we have education, they don't, we should be smarter than them. A lot of us are not street smart. You'd be amazed. A lot of guys with passport are not street smart. They're not from the streets. These are
And
like middle
that's
class
why I
men.
said that. That's why Mr. What's your name? Man travels. That's why I called them goofies. That's why you hear me in the chat. I'm like they're goofies, and then they need to be getting got. You know, at the end
No,
of the
you
day,
right. You right though. I mean, a lot of even this situation, the homie left us hanging, left us paying the tab, but that was a rookie. That was a rookie move.
and
You know what I mean?
then he should have had to give y'all that bread the next day. The next day he should have came off that bread. Point
He
blank.
didn't. He didn't want to pay the bread. He like, man, you escalated that situation. I'm not paying anything else.
Man, listen, I mean, I respect y'all guys for traveling, but I can honestly say that I ain't really never had no, and Rob knows me, I ain't really never had no situation. I've always been around other people that had situations, and I had to get them out of the situation. But
Exactly.
me having situations, never. And knock on wood, let's keep it like that.
Yeah, brother. I gotta drop. Got a little situation. So, but I'm gonna talk rap with you guys a bit later or so.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I mean, and this is for guys that's still doing the travel game. You know, you have to. It's all about vibe. And like I put out a video about Medellin, what to do, where to stay in Medellin, because you can't bring chicks straight to your crib. I think one video I did for Medellin, for example, there's a hotel connected to a mall. So I'm like, have them meet like certain places, have them meet you at a mall, feel the vibe out before you want to take her to your spot. You know what I mean? Like you just can't take chicks to your spot, and then make sure you got the bread that you're supposed to have. You know, you thinking like, oh, I gotta go to the ATM. You know, some chicks ain't going for that. Some chicks like, they want to see money up front, and it's just so many things, man. But what I'm gonna say ultimately is that, you definitely want to check out vibe. Jay, I see a Jay in the background. You cool with being on camera? Give me a thumbs up before I bring you up. You cool with being on camera? Because I don't know you personally. You cool with being on camera? Before I bring you up? Let me see if he hear me or don't hear me. I see his face though. Yo, can you hear?
What's going on? You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
You're a little low.
You hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah. What's
Okay,
good, bro?
what's up? None much.
What you got? What you got to add? Go ahead.
No, I'm actually booked to go to Cartagena in June, and I never been there before. I've been to Sosua a few times, so I mean, is it worth it? Because I work 120 hours a week, so I'm still on my fear mongering shit.
Okay.
It's totally worth it, man. I mean, Cartagena, there's a lot to see and do beyond the clock tower. The thing is, dudes get stuck on stupid on clock tower shit. It's just like when guys go to DR, they stay in Sosua at the beach and go to the strip. But there's more to that north coast, like Puerto Plata, Cabo Verde, and the other areas. But I mean, if you're into that lifestyle, yeah, you could go to clock tower and find what you want. But someone that is more advanced, you'll probably get tired of Cartagena after 2 days, 2 or 3 days, if you're not doing something outside of the norm.
Yeah, I agree with you because I've been to Sosua twice, and the first time I've been there, I'm not gonna lie, like after the third day I was bored. I was trying to hit on the waitresses, but they didn't want to. You can't hit on them, in public because they don't want to lose their job.
Right.
But I've been seeing recent reports of Americans, and not just Americans, just other people outside of Colombia getting drugged and end up dying, whatever. So I was a little hesitant. I was thinking about maybe canceling my trip.
No. There's no need to cancel. I mean, honestly, Cartagena has a lot to offer, a lot to do. Again, if you find a tour guide that could take you outside of the clock tower and really see the different areas, like Palenque, the volcano mud, and hit up the private islands. There's like 7 different private islands you can hit up. I mean, there's a lot to do and see there. And the women there are gorgeous. They're gorgeous. Wherever you go, they're gorgeous. Different shades, different texture of hair, from Blanca Negras to the natives. And then you got your mixing, which is freaking amazing. So you're gonna have a great time in Cartagena. You're gonna have a good time there. Just be mindful. And one thing I've learned that Colombia is the 4th country in the world with the highest STD and HIV rate.
Really?
Yeah. So guys, make
What is
sure to wrap up.
what does that put America, United States, on the list?
I know, but still, most time guys, they think they could go overseas and they think that they're immune to getting any type of STI or STD. Just be careful. That's it.
Okay.
And plus, don't forget the drugging situation, because you will get drugged anywhere in Colombia, because scopolamine is made in Colombia.
Okay, so when you're with a woman, do you make her take a shower to prevent you getting drugged and shit like that? You make her wipe off like anywhere where that powder might be?
I mean, just pure hygiene. You're gonna take a shower. Is not for security, because more than likely, I don't know where you've been or whatever, but just be smart. I mean, sometimes you just got to advise somebody out first. If you see the person seems too anxious, constantly looking at the clock, she's trying to figure out when you're gonna slip up. You just gotta be mindful. But at the same time, when you're drinking, you're smoking, you tend to let your guard down a little bit. But just go there and have fun. Don't be quick to rush to take someone back to your spot. And just put all your shit away, like in a secure area. If you got a safe, it just takes less than 30 seconds to put all your stuff in the safe. So if she does take anything, it'll be off, out of your suitcase. All your passport information, credit cards, cash. As soon as you walk in, open that safe, throw everything in there.
Oh yeah, I learned that from being in Sosua. What about Cali? Have you guys been to Cali?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Cali. Cali's an amazing city. It's an Afro city. There's a lot to do there, but I always recommend that you go there with a local. If you know someone that can show you around, because Cali is very spread out. It's not Medellin. It's not Cartagena where everything's centralized. Cali is very spread out, so you got to know where to go, who to hang out with. But just be careful. It's Colombia, so I mean, cartels still run that place.
Yeah, I would say, we typically try to keep like a roadmap of like different cities and what to do. We got a good tour guide. I don't know which group you're in, but we got a good tour guide in Cartagena. He hooked all of us up with places to go, things to do. Even hooked us up with people to hang out with us too. You know what I mean? So if you want to do Cartagena, personally, I would kind of avoid like the delirium space, Dulce Vita, use Tinder, because most of the time those chicks on Tinder, they present themselves as chicks that's not working girls. So if you do hook up with them, most of them are, but if you do hook up with them, it's not like they want it known that they out there like that. So they're less likely to even want to get, let's say, a police involved, because they not portraying themselves as a working girl. You know what I mean? Only working girls will contact the police. A non-working girl wouldn't. You know what I mean? So, so you got Tinder, and then, depending on how long you're there for, you can meet chicks just while you're out and about. But Cartagena, I like Cartagena just from like meeting regular women that look like, that look like Dominican women. They got the brown tones like Dominican and things like that. So the women are there. There's plenty single available women out there. You got to work the dating sites. If you do want to hit the pay for play, everybody know where to go, where to hang out. Usually those chicks out there not really talking the same prices as the chicks in the clubs and stuff like that. But ultimately, the way you protect yourself is the type of spot that you get. Because the type of spots that you get, tells the chick what she can and can't get away with. You know what I mean? That's Medellin, Cartagena, wherever, the type of spot you get. You know, I feel like, you know, Medellin, I recommend a hotel. In Cartagena, I recommend, you know, I have recommendations for the type of spots you can get. Or like we said earlier, have two different, you know, have two spots. You know what I mean? Your main spot and a burner spot. So so those type of things you gotta be careful for. And like far as a chick want to drug you with scopamine and stuff like that, how you can avoid that. Um, Once again, a type of spot, heavily secure, you know, security cameras that's taking her ID, and then you know sometimes we might have to take a step further and say, I want to take a picture of your ID too, because what I didn't know is that hotels can scan hotels and stuff. They can scan their IDs, but they don't have to give it to you. Because I don't seen people ask the hotel like, what was the name of that girl? Can you just give me your ID? And they don't have to. I don't think they can do that. So you have to get that information on your own as well. You catch up on some of these checks.
I think if anything, right before I went to Colombia, I was in Ecuador and I stayed in a penthouse there. And what I did every day, if I see a new security guard working the night shift, I give that person $20. And I let them know straight up, like, listen, I'm bringing the guests in, grab their IDs, and I will literally instruct them, unless I say the only way they can leave if I escort them down. They cannot leave by themselves. So if they notice that the girls are walking out by themselves, they're gonna call me or hold them hostage until they figure out what's going on. And that's what I do wherever I go.
Hey, I see this come on Energy Living. People done got robbed going to Energy Living. People have realized it's a popular spot. You know, they don't have guys post up. One of the homies got coming from the airport and got somebody pulled up on a taxi and took, and, you know what I mean, got him for a watch or something like that. So Energy even, I mean, once you inside, you good, but Energy even ain't foolproof either. You know what I mean? DR ain't no different, man. It's just, I mean, Sosua and Cartagena, I don't really see a big difference. Book travel, you gotta put on camera, man. So I was gonna say, I want to say this. You know, we have a responsibility to be respectful. We have a responsibility to be respectful at all times when we're in these countries. You know, respectful to the women, respectful to the authorities. We have to, you know, have to show respect. But I want to say this to the guys. You know what I mean? Like, I know some guys, they may be fearful about what happened with those guys in that situation, but these chicas don't have power or influence. Don't let them sharing stuff on social media make you think like they got some type of power. Like, they don't got you gotta have money to have power. They don't have no cartel power or influence. And a lot of these incidents that happen in Medellin, they street thugs. They're not no big time. They're not big like that. You know what I mean? Like, we, especially as black men, we not spending money like that. We're not even hitting that radar. We don't have like $100,000 million businesses going on in Colombia where somebody look at us as like interfering with what they got going on. You know what I mean? We just smashing bottom feeders. You know what I mean? They're not even thinking about it. So y'all don't give these girls so much clout. They don't have no money to have power. You know what I mean? Like, the guys they probably could call, they know no different than a street thug than in the US. I'm not worried about, you know, I got into it with a girl and she gonna say, I'm gonna call my brother or my cousin. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let that move me. You know what I mean? Especially if they not big out here like that.
Yeah, I had a situation like that in Sosua. It was this chick, and you know, I was bagging so many girls' numbers in Sosua. I forgot, you know, what she looked like, so I called her over, and I realized she wasn't the girl that I was interested in. So I said, you know, I just gave her, like, you know, because the motor conchos, whatever, 50. They charged them 50 pesos, but they charged the gringos 100 pesos. I was like, yo, here's 100 pesos. I'm not interested. So her quote unquote boyfriend is at the gate, and he's like, yo, my nigga, it's whatever. I'm like, yo, I'm not giving you nothing. And whatever, it was a stand down because the security guard was there, he's armed, whatever. And I was like, yo, like for 4 days straight, I was walking around with a knife in case he was gonna come after me. But he never came, so I just ended up ditching the knife.
Interesting. Oh, before I forget, man, in the thumbnail on the this video thumbnail, I had those two chicks was involved in one of the incidents. So I couldn't get a clear screenshot because it was like a video, and I just kind of took screenshots of it. But if anybody recognized one or both of those chicks in the thumbnail, put it out there because they will, they on some spicy stuff. So hopefully I can figure out who they are and then really put who to avoid when you in Cartagena. But what I'm gonna do, since I'm gonna be living here, is that I'm gonna reach out to some leaders in the tourism department, the police department, and maybe even the mayor of the city. I'm gonna talk about what are our rights as tourists. How should we handle police interactions, and what should we do if we feel like an officer is trying to extort us, during or after a situation? Do we have the right to take photos, ask for identification? Because I'll be honest, as much traveling as I've done, I do not know my rights in a particular country. People who come to our country, they have certain fundamental rights, regardless if they're American or not. So we need to know our rights. And I'm also going to get phone numbers of who to contact if you have issues, whether it's with businesses, hotels, restaurants, police, girls. So I'm going to talk to some people and get all my questions answered and respond to y'all on that, because we need to have numbers that we can call when a situation arises. And we need to know what our rights is, because that gives us power ultimately. But first and foremost, we got to show respect. We first and foremost always show respect. Black Man Travels, you got anything you want to add, bro?
No, I think if you guys plan to go to Cartagena, you'll be all right, man. There's nothing to worry about. It all boils down to how you move. Be smart. Don't lead with your dick. If you feel like something's not right, follow it. I know that sometimes we'd be a little bit too anxious to smash anything that moves. Just be smart about it. Be careful with your consumption, because again, a lot of these girls are not drinking. You are. So she's more alert. She's more alert, more aware of what's going on. So just go out there and have fun. You know what? I know Rob mentioned not to check out Delirium and Dolce Vita. I say you should go just to see it. But once you're in there, you're gonna feel like you're back in the States.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's nothing but trap music, like dudes hanging on the wall, dudes blocking the bar tables. It's just like, you know what? I didn't come all the way here to be around Pookie and Ray Ray. Trying to finesse, flex on with their gold chains and bracelet, trying to make it like they doing something. So by the time you walk in after 10, 20 minutes, you're ready to leave.
Oh man.
So go experience Cartagena. Get your tour guide. I cannot say this enough. Your experience is based on really based on how you plan. So if you could get a tour guide to do some things outside the city, do that, man. It's worth every penny. It's worth every penny, man, because you're gonna get that money back when you get back home. So don't be cheap out there. Go out there, seek out there for what it is. Mingles, smile, and just be smart. You're gonna be in the clock tower. Keep your phone in your front pocket like always, because they do pickpocket out there. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah, like I would definitely be interested in visiting San Andreas, that island. It's a beautiful scene over there.
I'm definitely thinking about going back to Colombia just to hit up the island. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to go and check it out.
Yo, no excuse. So you like South Africa, right? It's a good spot. You think brothers should be visiting?
Yeah, South Africa, definitely. That's my number one place I'm encouraging, trying to share information on. So definitely South Africa. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let Kanal answer this next question, but yeah, so that's what I'm focused on, man. I got to give you guys what's current, what's fading out, and what's new and upcoming. You know what I mean? And something new and upcoming, I would say in Latin America would be Ecuador and Peru. I'll let Kanal touch on that. But first, let me answer this question. His brother posted real quick. Has it turned into Sosua? What's the conclusion? So for me, yes. And it's not, and when I say turn into Sosua, I'm not saying it in a negative context. I'm saying it as in Cartagena Sosua is now on a different level as far as the type of men that can have fun here. So you got the $40, the $40 passport bros, which that probably was me, you know, when I was doing pay for play. You got the bros that want to spend $40 more or less. You know what I mean? They you know, us guys had our run in the Sosuas, Colombias, whatever at that time. Now it's $100. Now it's $100 brothers. You know what I mean? So they're gonna have pretty much the same experience as the brothers that was the $40 brothers, but now the $100 brothers and up. That's where we at. So I don't say that's what I say. I don't say it in a negative way. I'm just saying that the bar is raised. Now there's still places in like other parts of Colombia that you could go to for the $40 brother, but now the $40 brother is gonna now have to start hitting up these other spots. You know what I mean? And then when you talk about Africa, that's just basically, that's not really pay for play. That's just you getting love just from being black. So so it has turned to Sosua because now Sosua is for the $100 brother. Cartagena is for the $100 brother, unless you find, you know, I mean, unless you find a needle in a haystack. You know what I mean? But this question was for you, Brother Kanal.
Well, I just want to answer the question in regards to if Cartagena is Sosua. No, it's not. I think Cartagena has more to offer, more to do, more to see, more attractive women, hands down.
As far as pay for play.
Pay for play.
That's what we compare.
Yeah, in regards to pay for play, I still think it's not there to Sosua yet. Not there, not yet.
Okay.
I think maybe within the next couple of years, yes. But right now it's heading to it. Simply the fact that guys are going out there, weekend warriors, making it rain, and they're just changing the landscape. But eventually it's going to become the next Sosua. But as of right now, it still has its own feel based on mongering purposes.
Gotcha. All right. He want to ask, how was Ecuador?
Oh, Ecuador is amazing, man. I had a great time. It's something different. It's like going to Cuba. You know, when you go to Cuba, you can't really compare Cuba to the Dominican Republic, to Brazil, or Colombia, or any other Caribbean country. It's just you can't go there, you know, thinking that you're going to see Colombian chicks, Venezuelan chicks. Although they are out there, it's just a whole different culture. And of course, the currency right now is the American dollars. But besides that, it's just different. I can't really explain it, but all I know, I had an amazing, great time. And the stuff to see and do is amazing. You know, I went to a beach town called Montanente. It was about a 2-hour drive outside of Guayaquil. And again, you see a lot of the natives there. And it's just a whole different vibe, man. Sometimes you just need to switch things up. And if you're traveling strictly for women, of course, Ecuadorian women, they look slightly different. They don't look like Colombian women. They don't like Brazilian, Dominican women. So I would say go there with open mind. Go there for the culture. Go there for the food, and seeing something different. Personally, for me, I had an amazing time. Met some amazing women out there, but I recommend it to anyone to go there. What are hotels? I don't do hotels. I do Airbnb, and with Airbnb, I'll pay a little bit more to stay in a safe place. So normally, most of my Airbnbs are $100 or more because I pay for security and space.
You know, stay in the
Yeah, Yeah, as well as Guadalquivir, but the thing is, you're pretty much in a drug infested area, gang bangs, cartel areas. And again, are you willing to risk your life for some ass? Ain't that bitch for me.
Niggas do it every day.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's just like some guys would do anything for some ass, and it's just like, and they're willing to put themselves in danger just for it. I'm good on that.
That shit is
This,
crazy.
this to me, this is what I said the same thing about Sosua. You know what I mean? Is that, in my opinion, with the issues that happen in Medellin with safety and drugging, death, the stuff that's going, that I'm seeing going on in Cartagena, and somebody mentioned this in the comments, is that establishments are better than hanging out in red light districts. You know, um, especially if you're concerned about fixed pricing. Like you don't like if you hit up, and so you hit up one of the adult resorts, everything is fixed. You know what I mean? And you're gonna get what you pay for. In Medellin, you don't have to hit up the red light spots. There's establishments that you can go where there's basically a menu of prices. Locals go there, foreigners go there, and you know what I mean. You handle your business and you dip out. You know what I mean? Ain't no shame in talking about it because this is just what it is. You know what I mean? So, um, guys that want to indulge and pay for play, you know what I mean, go to establishments. Go to, you know what I mean, whether it's Brazil, whether it's Terma strip clubs, or whatever name they may have in different countries. Go to establishments. You don't have to worry about the drama, and you enjoy your vacation, and you can chill at your spot without worrying about no drama. I really don't even think God should be messing with the red lights like that anymore. Anyway.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me
not
let,
worth it.
let me ask you something. No excuse. You had said that hit up Tinder to find chicks in Colombia who aren't working girls, but they're just as pretty. How do you pull that off? Pulling like a baddie, without it being a pay for play situation. Her knowing that you're an American and that you're not fluent in Spanish. Like, what do you court her like a regular relationship? Like you pay for dinner and drinks, and then the mood is right, then you bring it back to your Airbnb, and then she doesn't ask for anything.
I would
No,
say
okay.
you got outside of Tinder, you got the Cupid website. I'll let you respond. I'll let you respond to Brother Canal. I would say you got the Cupid websites too. Now, I typically don't take women from dating websites serious anymore because of just my experiences. And I mean, my wife. Now, I didn't meet her that way. I met her. Um, I didn't meet her through dating websites. So I mean, like if you could find women, if you're able to use like Facebook, Instagram to like randomly holler at women, cool. But if you do use those dating sites, and this is just my opinion, a chick with no kids is less likely to be a pro. Most chicks that sell themselves for money has a kid. I would say 90%, at least 90%. You know what I mean? So if you talking to her and you like, you got any kids, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, you gotta put a question mark. If she don't got no kids, to me, that's a catch. You know what I mean? Even I would say even a pro that don't got no kids, for some might be a catch because she don't need the money to feed her kids. So that's kind of like my initial investment.
Okay, that's a good thing of good way of looking for women who aren't pros.
Well, hey,
Go ahead.
well, this is what I do on my profile. I will literally say no prostitutes.
Okay.
I put that in bold capitalization. Not interested in prostitute, and that alone would turn people off. So it's like they know that I'm not interested, so they try to like reach out to me. Like if you're and plus I'm not afraid to ask them, hey, are you a prostitute? If you are, I'm not interested. And that way you literally eliminate half of the bullshit. And two, it's like, I mean, let's keep it real, man. You going to a third world country, where these girls, even though they have professions, their money's not even compared to what you're making. So me
Yeah.
personally, even to a non-pro, I still get them a little money in their pocket to go buy some groceries or do something with that money. It's just part of my budget. It's like, hey, I know that like what I'll tell them, like, I know that you're not a pro or whatever, but here's for you, just in case you need it. And they're always grateful for that, man. It's part of my budget.
Okay.
I love the fact that they appreciate it more when you do it unexpectedly. And it's like they
Yeah.
do it in a way where it's like, hey, you know what? This is no disrespect to you. I really enjoy being with you. I like to see you again. But in the meantime, if you need to buy something for your family or for yourself, here you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good way of doing it.
Many women are offended. But yeah, I mean, in general, I really wanted to, talk about, like I said, the recent events that I've seen. It was unfortunate that we seen a black man, beating on a chick and then it being on blast like that. So hopefully it's a wake up call in general. I'm pretty sure it's been guys that haven't been reported that probably put their hands on women. If it happened this time, like I said, it might have happened before. Um, you know, guys, respect women. Learn from our mistakes. If I could repeat that situation again, what I mean, just don't try to force a chick out. Just try to avoid the situation from the beginning. You know, um, don't let people bring chicks to your spot um unless they paid and staying at your spot. Do not let nobody do not let outsiders bring chick to your spot, whether y'all cool or not. If they ain't paid money to be at that spot and y'all just kicking it and they just want to just come back, don't let nobody bring no chicks to your spot. So it's always gonna be something new that you learn that obviously nobody never maybe experienced before. But just take these notes. Don't let nobody bring it to your spot. If you can afford it, have two spots. And some guys will be like, man, it's just too much. It's not even worth going through all these checklists and things. So, but there's ways you can meet women that's not in a pay for play game as well. So you gotta pick your poison. Let me know if y'all got any other questions out there before I wrap up. You want to got any clothing thoughts, Black Man's Rap?
No, I think, guys, you're gonna have a great time. As I said before, take care of yourself physically, mentally, financially. So when you get out there, just have a good time. Just be mindful that you're basically in another country, and protect yourself at all times. Make sure you stay in a place where there's security guard. Take care of your security guard. Make sure you put all your stuff in a safe, secure it away before you get all too happy. And never get a drink from a female. Always pour your own drink. If you leave that drink on the table, walk away from it and just make yourself another one.
Yep.
And you have nothing to worry about. Cartagena is a beautiful city to visit. There's Barranquilla, which is about 2 hours away. You could go out there and drive out there. And if you do find a local and she's mad cool, hey, hang out with her, man. You'll be all right.
Okay. And the girls in Cartagena, they built like the Dominicans, because I'm from New York, and I like the way Dominicans built. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, honestly, as of lately, Dominicans have gotten fat, and the Colombians they take pride in fitness.
Yeah, I saw
They
that.
take pride in fitness, and I don't know, man. It just all right. Let's just do this. Let's just stop comparing DR to Colombia, except for Colombia for being Colombia, except for DR for being DR, and you will have a good time.
Okay.
Brother Andre asks, "Are you enjoying the married man life? Haven't sank in yet? It haven't sank in yet, but I definitely will appreciate. Uh, I definitely appreciate that I had my last dance before I, said those I do. When I say last dance, as far as like doing pay for play. You know what I mean? As far as having a bachelor party experience. But for me, like I felt like Cartagena ain't the city where how I came. So for somebody else, it might be different. But how I came in, and just like guys in Sosua, when they came in Sosua, is not the city how they came in. So for me, it's a wrap. Like for me, it's like it's time. You know what I mean? Like what happened this weekend let me know this was the right time. You know what I mean? Now, if I was still in the game, I would probably be done with Colombia. I would probably be moving on to maybe like explore Brazil some more. I might be interested in checking out like Ecuador, Peru, which I think is going to be like the next Brazil, Colombia. And then, you know what I mean? And then I'm going to still hit up Africa. You know, I'm going to be hitting up Africa too. So, so that's where I'm at, man. I'm just, trying to appreciate the situations that I was able to kind of escape from and be able to like share my experiences and try to, help other brothers not make some mistakes that I or other brothers made. Yes, sir. You got any other questions, Brother Jay?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna listen on the side.
All right, for sure. All right, thanks for coming up.
All right, no doubt.
All right. You wearing your ring or no? I got it on. I got the ring on. I got it on. I actually want to wear it because now,
That's gonna draw more women to you.
Yeah. My wife said that she was like, it's women here that like being that got somebody, So I want to ask you this: since you've been to Ecuador, have you been to Peru yet?
Yeah, I've been to Peru. I've been to Lima.
Okay.
I spent a couple of days in Lima. I stayed in an area called Miraflores. Had a great time. Again, people there look different. It's more that native look, but the food is amazing. If anything, I just ate more than anything. The food is amazing there. Sightseed, just visit around. Just at the time, this is before I started, the whole YouTube thing. So I was just out there just taking pictures, man. And I had a great time, and they were not used to seeing black folks too out there because I was getting stared at a lot. But besides that, it was a great experience. To be honest, every country is a unique experience. It's just like we just need to get in the habit of breaking away from the mongering mindset and become true travelers. I think at times we forget that while we travel is to experience new things, not just monger. So I'm glad that now I'm getting my wings back again and becoming a full-fledged traveler versus, traveling for the wrong reasons. So
Right.
Ecuador brought me back to my old ways of becoming a true traveler again and not making, getting asked like a priority anymore. It's like, I'm all right going a day or two, not doing anything. I'm taking the whole experience in and meeting people, talking to people, applying my Spanish. And of course, eventually I'll probably get something, but it's no longer the focus.
Facts. Now, do you think for the $40 brothers, do you think Peru and Ecuador is a better option for the brothers that don't like to spend a lot of money on vacation?
I mean, Ecuador is cheap by itself because Ecuador used the American dollar. However, it really depends on your budget. Me personally, I work hard and I don't really do a lot here in the States. So when I go overseas, I'm trying to live good. I'm trying to eat good, live good, do things that I don't do in the States. So I'm willing to spend money. I can't speak for any dude that's on a $40 budget. I don't roll like that. So
I'm gonna speak up for my $40 brothers.
yeah.
I think guys need to be the pioneers to visit more, but I've heard good things about those countries. The world is getting smaller, you know what I mean? As more of us travel, more of us get access to travel. Whether people like it or not, spots are going to get quote unquote burnt up. Females are going to get smarter. Locals are going to get smarter. They're going to figure out ways to get more of that American dollar. So you just got to keep moving until you run out of places to go. It's still enough places to go, but eventually things are going to get kind of globalized. But, we just got to keep moving around, and we just want to keep sharing. At least I want to keep sharing new spots guys should check out to, and new cities guys should check out to. And part of what I appreciate being a passport bro and now being married is that people want to label travelers or passport bros or guys that travel internationally, black or white, as if we are looking for only sex or trying to take advantage. There is something at the end of the rainbow for a lot of guys. I just chose marriage. Some other guys may choose something else, retirement, or maybe just a long time girlfriend, or maybe just getting everything out their system and coming back to the U.S. and settling down with a woman in the U.S. Whatever that may be. What I mean? But I could I can say being married, I can say, yes, I indulged and paid for play, where you want to call them mongering. I've had relationships, serious relationships, and I've made a priority that I wanted to settle down and find someone to marry and hopefully have a child with. You know what I mean? So I've matriculated in this space. You know what I mean? So we're just not one. So we're just not one group of people that just does something. So in this space, there's a lot of content creators. Most of us do what we do when we travel, but you got all these other content creators. They showing other sides of traveling besides just the women and the things that's legal in certain other countries.
Um, I, I totally agree with you. If anything, I'm trying to stay away from the typical walking videos of showing the butts, girls walking. That's not content to me. I mean, granted, do you, but there's more to see out there, and I'm trying to move away from that whole girls focus trip and focus on the city, focus on the culture. And that's why, like with my videos, I always show the drone footage, the people interacting. That's what I like to see, and it's just I guess too. I'm at a point in my life where I'm really enjoying my time, and also too, I am interested in settling down and meeting someone. So I've done the single life thing for 6 years hard. I mean, from visiting different countries, South Africa. When I put you on South Africa and everything else, it's just sometimes I'm trying to figure out like what is my end game. My end game is to live singly and just do this, or do I really want to have settle down and start a family again? So I'm open. I'm pretty open, and but at the meantime, I'm definitely enjoying my travels, and I'm just getting more out of it now. I'm just moving away from the whole typical, black man travels reasons. So it's like I think a lot of black men, we do get a negative stigma and why we travel, and I'm trying to break away from that. I'm trying to like tell guys, granted, you're gonna get some tail, but don't let that be your primary focus. There's so much out there to see and do. And again, when you lay down your deathbed, you're not gonna think about all the women you smashed. You're gonna think about all the people you met, all the
Right.
experiences that you saw. Man, I don't even remember half of the women that I've done things with, but I do remember the places where I ate at, places that I saw with my own eyes. That's what I remember. And I want black men to walk away from that. It's like, never let women be your primary focus on why you travel. That's just the icing on the cake. Your cake should be all about experiencing, creating relationships, investments. That's stuff you want to focus on. Don't let women be your primary focus on why you travel. If you're gonna go to Cartagena, Colombia, whatever, just do your research, plan accordingly, enjoy yourself. Don't let women be your primary focus on why you travel. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I always say have a purpose when you travel. As much as booty clapping I done did. What I mean? I could give you game on buying real estate. I could give you game on, you know, pros and cons of living in a particular city. So I do my research. What I mean, and I've had fun while doing it. And women travel and have the same experience just as men. They don't broadcast it like we do, but I've seen it, witnessed it. White women, black women, they travel for fun too.
Mhm.
They just don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
To be honest, in Cartagena, I saw a few sisters with some Chicos. They were all rubbing on each other like inside the damn bar. I was like, okay. I looked at them, was like, all right, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
But guess what? They keep it to themselves. We as black men, we feel like we need to broadcast everything. We need to let the world know everything. Sometimes it's better to move in silent, man. Don't let everybody know exactly what you're doing. So,
we don't know no female content creator that talk about mongering for one.
But then again, you have like thousands of dudes talking about mongering, and half of them never been to that country, but they want to give advice and tips and tricks. They've been there one time, and after that one trip, they're experts. Like, what the fuck? Like, really?
But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Please subscribe to my brother Black Man Travels YouTube, and also for you brothers out there, you can search Facebook for his Facebook group, Black Man Singular Black
Singular.
MAN Travels. You know,
Singular.
Check them out. But yeah, man. So y'all appreciate y'all joining in. You know, what I mean, I'm gonna get back to my regular routine next week. But yeah, man, don't let what y'all see discourage y'all from traveling. Just get smarter, try to listen to, ask questions. And you know, these chicas, like I said, man, I'm gonna say this again. Don't give them more credit than don't give them too much credit. They don't have cartel power. You know what I mean? They may talk this and talk that, but they just fly. You know what I mean? A lot of them is flies on the wall. You think the police department is moving because a prostitute done said something? 9 times out of 10, they not. You know what I mean? So please, put things in perspective. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna add, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.